It's the Rob Carson Show. Are you ready to be podsmacked? Now, here's Rob Carson.
All right, guys, this is episode number 82 of the Rob Carson Show podcast. This is a special edition because I am working with a guy named Dylan Parentis. He has a show that is available on YouTube. He's my mentor, essentially, for new media. Dylan is leading the discussion today as we get into a lot of things. So it's about a 40-minute broadcast. I think you're going to enjoy it. Make sure to check me out on iTunes at The Rob Carson Show. All right. And then also online, robcarsonshow.com. Want to welcome our sponsor and thank our sponsor, Grass Monsters KC. They do residential and commercial mowers, zero turning radius mowers, Dixie Chopper. Among them also, they've got a terrific line of mowers called Hustler mowers. These are American-made, badass machines, whether it's for your own yard, whether it's for your church's 4-acre yard, whether it's for your clients if you have a lawn mowing service, the finest machines available, all at grassmonsterskc.com. Grassmonsterskc.com. That's Grass Monsters, 5520 Raytown Road in Raytown, as we begin the broadcast and let Dylan take over.
All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Two Savage Four Democrats podcast, episode 118, and we are joined today by Rob Carson. How you doing?
Yo, how you doing, my friend?
It has been a while since you've been on the show.
Yeah.
We were trying to set up a podcast for a while, but we just got it going now. I'm going to go back to audio here. But let's start off with the biggest story, you know, kind of the elephant in the room, ironically, because they're going after the elephants or the Republicans.
Okay. You're talking about Tucker Carlson talking with Caitlyn Jenner last night. No.
That was actually interesting. I watched that interview.
It was.
Yeah, I don't like how Caitlyn Jenner just refuses. I mean, it's, you know, she's like, well, I voted for Trump. And she's got that weird in-between voice where it's like she's not fully a woman yet.
Dude, she needs a voice-ectomy, okay? That's the only thing that she's got to have that man voice removed. She had the man parts removed. Now she needs the man voice removed. It's a little off-putting. And by the way, speaking of which, having her penis removed, I mean, you want to talk about a piece of sports memorabilia. I mean, who wouldn't want to have that? Who wouldn't want to have that?
I mean, I think it's everything Caitlyn Jenner is kind of like has a negative connotation around it. Now, can you imagine like walking into someone's house, they got this penis in a jar, and you're like, what is that? And you're like, oh, it's like Caitlyn Jenner's penis.
You want to see my ball collection? Sure. Baseballs, footballs? No, Caitlyn Jenner's balls.
Like, here, take them out. You can hold them. It's like, no, I think I'm okay.
No,
I think I'm okay.
That's okay. Better to hold him than having him slap against your chin. Okay, so I distracted you. What's the big story of the day?
So, well, that actually, I did want to get into that interview, but I want to talk about this sexual harassment thing that's been going around.
Gotcha.
It's just kind of destroying Fox News. I don't think it's going to destroy Fox News. Everyone says it is. No. I don't think it will.
It's wishful thinking. A lot of people, it's wishful thinking. It's MSNBC's wet dream. They finally see an opening, and God knows that Rachel Maddow loves to see a good opening, but that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. They're hoping, like Donald Trump being impeached, they're hoping that Fox is going to die. Not going to happen.
What you have to remember is it's like people are freaking out. They're like, oh, no, Fox News is going to be replaced as the number 1 time slot. You got to remember who they're trying to replace them with. Don Lemon and Rachel Maddow.
Thank you.
Do you really think that people are like, yes, I'm going to get home in time for Rachel Maddow? Well, I can watch her on the show. You know, it's like, no. Well, it's like one of those decisions you're sitting there. It's like, you know, I could run to Walmart or I could watch Rachel Maddow.
Do you suppose it's too late for Rachel Maddow to get a transplant from Caitlyn Jenner?
I don't know. She might be able to squeeze it in. All right, she's pretty busy, talking about trans rights.
Maddow actually is doing fairly well just because of all the Trump hate that's out there. And Maddow is Maddow is like therapy for insane Democrats right now. Can't handle the fact that that Donald Trump is the president. That's what she's their Prozac, man.
Yeah, they're taking a little Rachel Maddow at night.
Yeah, so
everything on the but so Bill O'Reilly, we know that, and let me be honest with you. I think he did it. Okay.
Oh,
mean, there's just he had the domestic violence charges. He was losing custody of his kids. The whole sexual harassment idea isn't too far-fetched. What does irritate me is that I was hearing one of the ladies, he called her chocolate beauty or something.
No, he said he's called her hot chocolate, which is so stupid because it's A, it's 1970s, and B, so he called her hot chocolate. You know, it's not worth a lawsuit. Grow the hell up.
Walked up it's not like he walked up and said, that he was going to rape her or anything. Like, he literally called her hot chocolate, which
Stupid.
I think that, for Bill O'Reilly, right? I understand that might be, and I'm not saying sexual harassment should be excused in any way, shape, or form. But I think that when you wait, it's called the Bill Cosby effect.
Yes.
You wait for one person to come out, and then all these other people who maybe you flirted with, they all come out and say, well, he said I was pretty on the elevator, and that was just very offensive for me. It's like, as a guy in 2017, if you think any girl is mildly attractive, get ready for a lawsuit. Assemble the lawyers because it's coming.
Yeah, it is. It's a convenient way. They see dollar signs. Gloria Allred's daughter is representing the girl with the woman with the hot chocolate comment. It's a load. I do think Bill O'Reilly is an old school, arrogant a-hole, probably very difficult to work with. And he's been able to get away with it because Roger Ailes was there, and he also was a massive, massive show. And it's going to be hard. He yesterday, I don't know, did you hear any of his podcasts yesterday?
I didn't. I was going to get it, but you had to pay for the site.
No, not this week. Can I play a little piece from him?
Yeah.
Yesterday. Here's a little bit of O'Reilly last night talking about what's going on in his life.
I am sad that I'm not on television anymore. I was very surprised how it all turned out. I can't say a lot because there's much stuff going on right now. But I can tell you that I'm very confident the truth will come out. And when it does, I don't know if you're going to be surprised, but I think you're going to be shaken, as I am. There's a lot of stuff involved here. Now, I can't say any more because I just don't want to influence the flow of the information.
Okay. Now, the only problem is 5 women have been paid off by Fox News, and so we're not going to hear. We can't hear anything from them. They cannot comment on this. They cannot. Well,
here's the problem, and this is a problem that a lot of people make, is they start putting out the hush money, right? As soon as the hush money leaves the pocketbook, that's when you've got a problem. Because when the New York Times came out with that story that 15 million or 13 million or whatever had been paid from either O'Reilly or Fox News, that was the end. Because at that point, it's so believable that you can't really hide it anymore, right?
Well,
that's hush money.
But a lot of the times they will pay you because litigation and all that will cost you even more. So a lot of the times the networks would rather just settle. So that's not definitive proof that he did something. But like I said, and I think I agree with you, I think there's probably a real good chance that he did. Because listen, dude, I've worked in broadcasting with people like this before. Yeah. They are becoming more few and far between, by the way, because you cannot behave this way.
You got to remember. Well, let me look. Bill O'Reilly, what did he grow up in the 60s? Right, 60s,
probably
70s?
50s. No, 50s.
50s. Okay, he grew up in the 1950s. Okay, you can't blame somebody who grew up in the 1950s for publicly hitting on a woman.
Yeah.
All right, that's just something that they did back then.
I know,
that's
but
they grew up.
You got to evolve. You got to evolve, Dylan. Come on, man.
Old. Like, how many old men do you know that are walking around hip with the times?
You know what? How many times have you been sitting at the dinner table or Thanksgiving table when your uncle said something extremely, like, boy, I know a lot of colored people. They sure are. There are a lot of talented colored people. And you're like, geez, Uncle Joe, come on, man.
Come on. Yeah, they don't even understand. No, I remember my grandma. Right, we're in the kitchen, and we're watching the news. And again, I don't blame her. She's 77, right? So it's not even her fault. A bunch of thugs from a gang go up on the screen, right? All African American. And she goes up, she goes, now what do you notice here? And I'm like, so for me, I was like, oh my God. But at the same time, I'm like, she's 77. It's like you can't. Everybody has that slightly racist grandparent.
Well, but
that's
like for instance, today I posted on Facebook. There have been a lot of these public attacks of people in mass. These group crimes. I was doing a show in KMOX in St. Louis on the St. Louis Metro link. There are gangs of young. Sorry, they're black people. I just posted one today, an attack on Facebook on Rob Carson's show, and it was 60 teens at a mall in a massive brawl, and you're seeing this all over the country, and every time you turn it on, and it sucks, they're black kids, all right? So, I understand you're where some parents are, grandparents, they say it because all they see is color. I'm more focused on a cultural phenomena. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's definitely a cultural problem. I think because there are African Americans, and I feel like we sound kind of racist. We're not at all.
No.
But like there are people you go to. It depends where you grow up, and when you grow up in these inner cities that are, by the way, run by liberals, completely run by liberals.
Yeah.
You're going to see this type of gang violence. When the education system sucks, people can't get jobs. When people can't get jobs, people join gangs instead because gangs are like a family. When you grow up in these single-parent households, your mom's always gone working 60 hours a day.
Let's just talk also of 75+% of African-American families are single-mom families in the inner city. You look at more than half of black children are aborted before birth. All of these things in over the weekend in San Francisco, in Oakland, a BART train was taken over by 40 to 60 teens. They robbed writers, and they're black kids. This is a crisis in the black community. Orange Park Mall, by the way, 60 kids involved in this massive brawl. It's been viewed, and this is another bad thing about it, is that they get these kids are broadcasting it live on Facebook, and they think it's cool. Yeah. And so it's causing the violence to increase. But back to the concept of racism and growing up in the 50s like O'Reilly, O'Reilly may not change, and if that's the case, then his ilk will die out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
No, I definitely think that's a dying brand, but at the same time, you're still going to find the lingering old folk that still follow that kind of, because that's how they grew up. I mean, you used to be able to hit your wife with a broomstick. I mean, it was just that was how things were back
You can't
then.
do that. Wait a minute. You can't do that anymore? Oh shit! I'm just kidding.
Better go.
My wife whacked me with one.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, unless you're a child, then you can get hit with a broomstick all you want.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think that for O'Reilly to, I don't know. It's not like he did anything physical. If something physical was happening, I would 100% be like, that is terrible. Do not do that. Now, I'm not in favor of sexual harassment at all. I think that's terrible as well. But I haven't heard any accusations of him saying anything too vulgar. Now, if there is, I would love for someone to.
I don't think he said also. I don't think he also said, if you don't sleep with me, you're done here at Fox.
Yeah, he never said anything like that. He would just say really awkward things in public. And I don't know. Fox News made a decision. I agree with their decision. I think that was bringing too much attention to Fox News. He's not going to have trouble doing whatever he wants to do in the future.
Yeah.
Even if he does stick to alternative media like the podcast, he will be fine.
Well,
Although his radio show was a snooze fest. I didn't like it.
It was terrible. It was terrible. Like Larry King's radio show, just awful. The thing, there was somebody, though, they've got a couple of people coming forward and saying that he was terse with them or he yelled. And if that's the case, even if you're a woman, grow some balls in broadcasting. Because broadcasting is a bitch. Get used to it. And if you can't handle being yelled at by somebody who's higher up than you, then you need to go do something else crawl in your safe space and get over broadcasting.
That's what it is. It's destroying that. We've all seen that famous video. I don't know if you have audio of it. I could play some too.
Yeah.
Where O'Reilly was, fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. We'll do it live. And it's that famous audio clip.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how people are. He has a temper.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a temper. He's going to yell.
And there are times that people do legitimately incompetent things and they need to be called out about it. You can't just go, breathe. Okay, people, I know you're screwing up and we're going to be live in about 30 seconds. But God dang it, get your shit together.
Okay, when you have a show that's averaging 3.4 million people per night, you can't even, you don't want to deal with people who don't know what the hell they're doing.
You don't have room for error.
Exactly.
You do not. There are too many people watching.
You have the biggest show in the country. If one thing goes wrong, we've all been watching Fox News where there'll be a guest and then one cameraman will mess up and it'll zoom in really close to the guest's face or something and they have to shake. That stuff happens and that should be called out. You can't make mistakes like that on live TV.
By the way, I got a little soundbite from Tucker Carlson last night, and I thought he had a great show. Here's a little bit of Tucker.
Well, good evening. For those of you tuning in tonight expecting to see someone different in this anchor chair, I know the feeling well. I watched Bill O'Reilly at this hour for years, and I always marveled at how well prepared he was, how tough he was, and how crisply and directly he expressed his views. What O'Reilly did was not easy. He set a high bar, and I'm going to do my best to meet it. Thanks for sticking with us.
It's not really a bar. It's more of a stripper pole. But anyway, that's him last night on the O'Reilly Factor. I think he's going to do well. He killed Megyn Kelly's ratings. Did you see the ratings that he's gotten because that are much better than Megyn Kelly's?
Oh, he topped. Let me see if I can find the story here. He topped his ratings last night.
I think you're saying he filled her slot big time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay,
oh yeah.
All right. Whatever.
No. But I'm trying to find it because there was a story I saw literally right as we were going live. It was talking about how Tucker Carlson had literally. His ratings were fantastic from last night.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I think he's good, and I think he's doing a hard-hitting show. I like the guy. I like him.
The thing about him,
I like him better than O'Reilly. I got to tell you that.
Absolutely. Well, because here's Tucker Carlson. Here's his secret. I figured it out.
What?
I think I've got it.
What?
He's aggressive. He's intelligent. He's good at debating, but he's also likable.
Yeah.
So he can totally go after somebody.
Yeah.
And then after the debate, the people watching aren't like, wow, that was bad. He's like, well, I love having you on the show today. God bless you and have a good night. You know, it's just,
he does. And he disarms guests, and I think he does great interviews. Do you want to hear a little bit of him with Caitlyn Jenner last night?
Yes, let us hear.
Here we go.
It's possible for people to be people of goodwill, people of faith, people of generous spirits, but to be confused at least or baffled and say, I'm not exactly sure I understand this, but still be good people.
They do not understand gender identity. They understand sexuality.
Right.
You know, the old saying is sexuality is who you sleep with. You know, gender identity is who do you go to bed as. It's a totally different subject, and you cannot compare.
So you'd think the voice would go up without the.
Well, I mean, I was just sounding like this the other day and doing a radio show.
They say if you have that removed, your voice is going to go up a little bit. Now, I thought that Tucker last night, and I haven't seen the entire interview, so I could put a good piece of it. I thought he made Caitlyn Jenner interesting in an otherwise oversaturated trans market. Yeah, I thought he did a good job bringing out some things that were different than everybody else is bringing out of Caitlyn Jenner.
Well, she's a Republican.
Yeah,
it was
that
stunning.
too,
I couldn't believe that she voted, for Trump.
Oh yeah. And he said, Caitlyn, she said that it was harder to come out as a Republican than as a transsexual. He said it was much harder to come out as a Republican. And
she lives in Malibu, California. I went to Malibu when I was in California. It is like I'm with her stickers up the ass in Malibu.
Oh, I know.
It's insane.
Yeah. Well, it is. You can be a transgendered person and not cause riots on campus. Okay. You are celebrated. You are celebrated for making the move, and we are oversaturated with the LGBTQRST movement. But if you come out as conservative, I mean, you, depending on where you live, you could be, or as a Trump supporter, branded as a racist, branded as something, physically attacked on social media, disinvited from campus. It's a lot easier to be trans than it is to be conservative.
Yeah, she won't be attacked like that because she is trans, and that would just be totally hypocritical for the left to do that.
Yeah.
But I had a great point I wanted to bring up about that.
Yes.
But I don't even remember what it was. We digressed a lot from the
you would have to talk a little bit about Hannity, because I think that's what you want to talk about.
Yeah,
Hannity.
That's what I wanted to get into.
What is this? Schlussel is this woman's name? She was in Schlussel. Schlussel was interviewed by a radio station in Oklahoma City.
Campbell.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
so
she's backed off it, but go ahead. You lead. Go.
Okay. Well, essentially, she came on the show with him, and she was talking about how she, a couple interactions she had with Sean Hannity. One of them being at a book signing where she was standing behind. He invited her up to the front while he was signing books. She was standing right next to him. She said it was awkward. And then afterwards, she said she needed to go get ready to feature on his show. And he said, "Why don't you come back to my hotel room?" She declined. Then later that night after the show, he came up to her and said, essentially, let's go back to the hotel room again. She said no. And then he said that, every time she tried to speak when she was on his show, he'd say, "Obey your host, or else we're going to shut your microphone off." She was essentially painting this picture of Sean Hannity as this like evil, aggressive, rapist, essentially, right?
Well, she has come up with some other accusations. Like, for instance, she said that his charity, he demanded of this charity that brought him in for the Freedom Concerts, that he get a private limo, that he get a private plane, that he gets all. And the charity came out yesterday to say that's bullcrap. None of that he couldn't have been better. So this woman has some real credibility problems. And today she's saying, she's backed up and said, well, it really wasn't harassment. It was just kind of creepy. Well, sorry, your ass is his now. I mean, not physically.
He can sue.
He's going to sue her ass off. He's on the warpath today, man.
Oh, he's not fucking around. And then in 2007, this is another one. She wrote a blog post accusing Hannity of deliberately ripping off an anti-Muslim column she wrote for the New York Post. Yeah. She has been doing this and harassing people. She is just one of those people that can't make it in the market by herself. Yeah. So she uses other people as scapegoats for her problems and tries to get attention. And that's just what some people do in this. It was like the lady during the campaign where Corey Lewandowski kind of pulled her out because she was stalking Trump, essentially.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh my God, he ripped my arm out of the socket. It was bleeding. I needed to go to the hospital." And it's just like, that's those type of people in here. But Hannity is going crazy.
No.
He released a comment 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And I've read it on here before. I'm not going to go over the whole thing, but essentially he was like, "I'm not putting up with this anymore." He's like, "This individual has not just slandered me over the years, but many people who this individual disagrees with."
Yep.
He said, "My patience with this individual is over. I have retained a team of some of the finest and toughest lawyers in the country who are now in the process of laying out the legal course of action we will be taking against this individual."
Yeah. Well, I don't blame him at all. Right now and I saw his comments last night. There is a war on conservative media. There are groups like Media Matters, which is a leftist organization that transcribes, attempts to take out of context every major player in conservative media, and they smell blood in the water right now with Fox News. And again, this is wishful thinking. This is like thinking Donald Trump is going to be impeached. Fox News is not going down, folks. And they say, well, you know that, what's his name, the head of Fox now, his 2 sons are in charge, and they're liberal. And I'm like, you know what? But liberalism doesn't pay the bills. Liberalism doesn't give them ratings. Conservatism gives them ratings. And if these boys decide to shift Fox to the left, they will fail as miserably as ESPN. They will fail as miserably as CNN. They will fail as miserably as MSNBC.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, well, here's the thing about that is that, again, I think that the liberals have found the weakness after seeing, Roger Ailes go down, after seeing, they tried to do it with Trump, where they brought out the 5. By the way, where did those women go?
Yeah.
All those women that, they're gone. But, Bill O'Reilly was the big one. They got Bill O'Reilly, the biggest cable news beast, to be fired from Fox News. By the way, he's getting $25 million. I would leave for $25 million.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But they did that. I think they think that this is the way to go. I think that sending people out with sexual assault, sexual harassment, I think that's the way they think they're going to do this, but it's going to get old very quickly.
Yeah.
Just like oh my God, Trump hurts me emotionally, maybe worked the first couple times. But now it's getting old, right?
Well, and these anti-Trump protests are getting old. The Women's March was the first of it. This idiotic protest over the tax weekend, where people really care about Donald Trump's tax returns. Like, that's really important. It was a load of crap. They're bought and paid for, and that's gonna get real. It's like shouting racism. It's when there is none. It's old, and it's going to get real tired after a while. And by the way, just real quick. People are severing their cable subscriptions. People are leaving it. So O'Reilly, and like me with my new media, you with the new media, although we've both done terrestrial radio, there are outlets. Okay, there is a niche. There's a place. I saw 25% of U.S. householders will not have traditional TV subscriptions by the end of 2017. We just cut ours. We just got rid of $220 a month for DirecTV.
Yeah, I'm not buying cable.
No.
It's just there's no point. I have Netflix to watch shows, and I can get as much information as I want. I mean, they put all the segments on YouTube from Fox News. There's no reason to get it. I mean, I'm not going to watch 99% of the stations I'm getting. I'm going to watch Fox News.
And that's why O'Reilly will survive. He was part of the package, but if you just wanted O'Reilly, now you have the boutique selection of choosing to listen or watch O'Reilly.
Not only that, but I think that, thinking about this the other night, if O'Reilly does make the move to alternative media, that's going to help alternative media grow. And I think you're really going to start to see this take over because it's what we do, and not just what we do, what anybody that does alternative media does, is we have created this, it's like person to person. There's not this organization in the middle. There's not a middleman when it comes to alternative media.
Connection.
You listen to my show.
It's about connection.
Exactly.
That's what it's about.
That's what the people want.
Yep.
That's what the people want. In this time where they feel like nobody connects with them. If you look at the approval ratings of CNN, I mean, nobody trusts them.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody trusts Congress. Nobody trusts the politicians. People feel disconnected from the rest of the world. And when you have these people that they can sit down and they can, bounce ideas off of and they can communicate with and get information from, I think that really works with people, especially right now.
Yeah, I saw a piece on Politico today, and it was about the media bubble. And what they call the media bubble is the media, by and large, the majors, only focusing on the coasts, only focusing on population hubs. And they are going to fail as much as Hillary Clinton failed in the last election. There is a media bubble. They are immune to what's going on in the middle of the country. And maybe that is probably going to be part of why people are cutting the cable and going to things like, we've got Netflix, Amazon Prime, we've got Hulu, we've got we just got what the hell is it? Hold on, it's on my phone. It's really cool. Sling, got Sling on my phone, so I now I can use my phone to watch television on the big screen. It's crazy.
Well, and then YouTube's coming out with their new package. It's not very much at all, but it has a bunch of channels on it.
Yeah.
Like YouTube, I forgot, I think it might be YouTube TV or something like that, but it's got actual cable channels on it that you can broadcast from YouTube. It's much cheaper than a cable package.
Yeah, that's part of it. But, like I said, I literally on DirecTV, nothing against DirecTV. Pardon me. I had, dear God, what, 700-800 channels? I mean, I know that the Royals baseball is 671.5. There's channels for music. They might as well turn those off. Nobody's listening to those channels of music on DirecTV. It's a joke.
Yeah, nobody goes. My grandma is the only person I know that when we go over to her house for Christmas, she has like the Christmas station on.
Yeah.
It's like nobody else does that.
No,
Nobody's
I've got
getting ready in the morning like, yeah. It's those people who are stuck in the 80s.
Yeah,
That's
I've got my, and I don't want to say her name because she'll start Alexa. Right behind. And if I say anything, she'll immediately. So I got to spell her name. Although she's kind of like dogs. When you, when you say treat, you have to spell it out. They eventually learn how to spell it. So she's gonna start spelling her name and go, yeah, hello, can I help you?
Yes, hello. Yeah, no, it's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's definitely dying. I think you're starting to see the rise of alternative media. How did we even get onto this topic? What were
we were talking about Bill O'Reilly and possibly finding an audience elsewhere.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I can't believe my train of thought is staying on the track and yours is being derailed.
Yeah, I have no idea how we're getting to these. I mean, I like the flow of the conversation. I just don't know how we're getting to this. But
yes.
What I was going to say is I don't think that Sean Hannity did this. I've watched Hannity. I got messages. I put something up in my story about this whole thing on Instagram. And I got messages from a few followers, one of them who had been to the set of the Sean Hannity show.
Yeah.
And after he left, Sean Hannity called their family, talked to him for 30 minutes. He threw him the football.
Nice.
I mean, he is a nice guy. He's been married for years. He's a strong Christian.
Yeah.
He's a hard worker.
Yeah.
He would not do something like this. Do you really think that Sean Hannity's more likely to invite a girl to his hotel room than Bill O'Reilly?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know. There's a lot of people who can paint a great facade, and a lot of the times the high and mightier they are, the harder they fall. But I think Hannity, I think he wears his love for his wife on his sleeve. Are there times of weakness? Maybe a couple glasses of wine, you're a little flirty. I do that. I mean, I'm not cheating on my wife, but I'll flirt a little bit with a glass of wine. I don't want to play grab ass or say, come back to my hotel room. But yeah, I would tend to believe Sean Hannity with regard to this more than Roger Ailes and
I don't think he did it. I don't think he did it because he's just not that type of person. Now, I do think sexual harassment, I think, is one of those things that's getting watered down. Like kind of like the feminists with rape. Where it's like, you have sex and then the next morning you change your mind and then that's rape. They're watering down the definition of it and actually hurting real rape victims.
Yeah.
I think the same thing's happening with sexual harassment. Like, being hit on is not sexual harassment. That's a compliment.
Yeah. And there's a place at a time for it. I will tell you that with regard to now, see, look, you made my train of thought go off the rails.
Sean Hannity, Bill O'Reilly.
I don't remember what the hell I was talking about. Anyway, I like I said, I would tend to believe Hannity more than I would believe O'Reilly at this point. So, let me see. Hold on. Let's see if I got this. I've got a little audio, if I can find it here, from this is actually the sexual harassment hotline at Fox News. Let me see if I find this real quick here. I've got it here somewhere. Keep going. I'll find it and I'll play it for you. We've actually got the sexual harassment hotline, and I'll find it here, and then I'll play it here. Hold on one second.
I was I was doing my show the other day, and I was talking with Brian, who's the other host of the show, and we were talking about how from now on at interviews for Fox News, they should put like a really hot chick in very, lewd clothing, kind of right next to the interviewer.
Yeah.
And if the guy looks over, makes any, you don't even hire him in the first place, because they really need to do something about this sexual harassment.
Well, listen. And now let me just say something. You look at Fox News. There's one major reason that a lot of people watch Outnumbered. It's because there are 8 hot legs, 4 women, and 1 doofy guy, okay? And they put the hot guy or the hot girls on either side. They do the same thing with the 5, although they put Gutfeld for some reason on the right, but they put Guilfoyle on the left. They used to put Andrea Tantaros on the right and they call him one lucky guy. Why is he one lucky guy? Because he's surrounded by women who look like porn stars.
Exactly.
Come on,
Could you imagine?
Come on,
could
man.
You imagine in feminist America if I had a show called Outnumbered, and it was just 3 guys sitting around, and then it was like the one lucky girl, and I just bring on this girl with like big ass tits just sitting there in the middle, and we're just like, well, how are you? It would be like calling
it
other context. Just if you did it Outnumbered and it was 4 white guys,
it would be called the gangbang. That's what they'd call it. They'd call it the gangbang.
Try to do that in any other context. Any other context.
Yes,
4 white guys, 1 black guy. You're getting.
I'm sorry.
Your career's done.
I've seen Juliette Huddy. Juliette Huddy, who by the way did an internship at the first radio station I worked at, and I just missed her. I was this close. Anyway, she like had a show in L.A. and there's segments with her wearing like a French maid costume and things like that. Don't use your sexuality and expect a man is going to look at you. All right, come on.
Well, it works sometimes though. That's the thing.
Yeah, listen, if I worked at Fox News, I'd have a real hard time. You've seen guys at the gym. You got a woman in there, and she's doing squats, and she's wearing yoga pants, and suddenly she catches your eye in the mirror, and you look, immediately avert your eyes. That's what working at Fox News is. And if you're not at least taking a glance at Kimberly Guilfoyle, you're probably Caitlyn Jenner.
See, I don't find her attractive though. Obviously, I've looked, but I just don't find her attractive. I think she looks too fake.
I don't care.
But if you think about it, let's use this for an example.
I like Janine Pirro too, though. What?
Women can get jobs being attractive.
Yes.
Males cannot. Let's just look at the lineup on Fox News. There's Ainsley Earhart, so hot, right? You've got Jenna Lee from Happening Now,
dear God,
so hot. You've got Meghan McCain. It's like she wears like the most revealing shirt. You've got all these people, and then you've got Sean Hannity, who parts his hair down the center.
Yeah.
And then you've got, Bill O'Reilly before.
Here's the problem. Guys can be ugly in the media. Women cannot. This happens at the network level. This happens at the local level.
I don't know. I've seen Candy Crowley. That is not a good thing to look at.
Yeah, but she's not the main thing. She's not the main host. You all the hotness, young hot women, and even Guilfoyle's getting towards, she's pushing 50. So she, who knows how long that's going to last. But like local news, watch every newscast. You've got a beautiful young woman. You've got a lot of the weather's taken over by beautiful young women. And then they've got an older guy, could be a dopey looking older guy, could be a good looking, distinguished older guy. But you can be older and you can be less than attractive. But it's gotten to be the point you've got to be a sex symbol as a woman to have a leading role in news, period.
Which, I mean, I guess to a certain extent, I don't like that. But on the other hand, I understand it because men watch TV shows with hot chicks. I mean, they just do it, right? You can't.
We didn't watch Baywatch for the script, dude.
Titanic, and you've got some bald fat guy as Jack, and then you've got some like Rosie O'Donnell as like there would be nobody watching the movie. I mean, people are attracted to good looks. It doesn't matter if you're an attractive guy or an attractive girl. That's just how Hollywood is. That's just how media is in general. If you look good, you get further. You
ever watch Skinamax? I mean, those movies are god awful, but you wait for that nugget of nakedness. Of course, now you can do it gets more readily available now. But like Baywatch, nobody watched.
Nobody sits down to watch American Pie and is like, I'm really excited for the storyline in this one. Like, no. You're waiting for the bra to come off, and you're like, don't. It's like Jim Carrey in The Mask, where it's like the eyes are coming out,
Yes. Oh, by the way, I do have do you want to hear the Fox Human Resources line?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Now, and apparently, I think I hear Tucker Carlson and Bill O'Reilly on here, so here it is.
Hi, I'm calling to report that I was sexually harassed by my boss, a prominent figure at the network. I just hate to think that somebody could engage in such behavior in the workplace and continue to be paid so handsomely. I don't know if this phone call will help anything, but at least I know it won't lead to him getting even more money.
Well,
that would be crazy.
he did.
This is the number we call to report women who won't have sex with us, right?
I'm hearing there's been a lot of sexual harassment here at Fox News, but I'm not getting any. Isn't that reverse sexism or something?
Hi, I'm just wondering, is it really FCC rule that all women reading news on television have to be blonde, or is my boss just with me?
Yeah, I'm calling. I had a producer of mine out for a wonderful dinner. Take her out for drinks, steak, the whole nine. And this has the audacity to turn me down when I ask her to come back to my hotel room. It's ridiculous, you know? You don't do that. You don't turn
Tucker's
me
coming up
down.
Hi, this is Glenn Beck. I don't have a complaint, just calling to say I am so sorry for everything.
Hi, this is Tucker Carlson. It's April 19th, about 9 a.m. Just wanted to touch base again and let you guys know I'm just a phone call away in case anything should, change or whatever. Oh, sorry, got too excited and my bow tie started spinning. And
Okay, there you go. So that's actually
That
from
is funny.
Funny
I
or
like
Die.
the
That's funny.
O'Reilly one.
That's Funny or Die, by the way.
Yeah,
That's
that's
funny.
hilarious. No,
Yeah.
I mean, this is obviously for good. But if you think about it, I was just thinking about this while you were playing that. That is kind of reverse racism. If a woman hits, like, if any of the Fox News hosts, like the females, we're talking about how hot they are.
Yeah.
If they go and hit on any of the guys there, there's not going to be a sexual harassment charge. They're going to be going home like, oh my
Dude,
god.
Dylan,
You know?
I'm a 50-year-old married man. First of all, I'd question whether or not she was under a controlled substance, and then I'd immediately turn around and say, thank you, God, and then just absorb it. Just absorb it.
Well, and men usually start off that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
it's like, I feel like if you flirt with the wrong woman now, it's sexual harassment.
Well, it could be. You've got to be careful. Hey, listen, I'm going to have to run because I got to go get my son from school. Can I mention just a couple of things real quick, if you don't mind?
Yeah, we'll wrap up the show here right now. Why don't you mention where people can find you, everything like that, and yeah.
Well, hot women, here's my number. No. You can find me on Facebook at Rob Carson Show. You can find me online, robcarsonshow.com. I'm on iTunes at The Rob Carson Show. And like you've inspired me. I've got a swag line, politically incorrect gear. We're going to go on Teespring. Right now, we're on TeePublic, TeePublic.com. And just look up Conservatees, Conservatees. We got some killer-ass Kansas City designs. We've got some killer national designs, not all political, but they're funny as hell. You got it on T-shirts, on hoodies, on onesies, on computer, laptop cases, phone cases, the whole deal. So it's TeePublic for now and Conservatees. So always good to talk to you, my brother. I will post this on my podcast on iTunes. Okay.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thanks for coming on, and thank you all for tuning into TSFD episode 18. We will catch up with you guys next time. See you later.
Thanks for listening. Rob Carson Show. Friend him on Facebook at Carson. Thanks for listening to The Rob Carson Show. Friend him on Facebook at Carson Show, on Twitter at Rob Carson, and on Instagram. I think Facebook and Twitter are enough for now. We'll see you soon.